Hey guys, Martin back, another CarCast, another week. I'm back from Gibraltar. It was bloody freezing out there. Really good weekend though, really good weekend. Obviously that's what this week's CarCast is going to be about. So I got out there late Friday, well I say late Friday, sort of tea time Friday, and it was freezing. It was absolutely freezing, and they said it's the coldest Gibraltar's been in over 10 years, which is just frightening. Like how cold it was. Probably not colder than it is over here, but you go on holiday, don't you? You get on a plane, you think, oh yeah, it should be warm where I'm going, and it wasn't. To the point where in the middle of the night I was patting down on the floor looking for my duvet and realised now the little sheet that I had over me was it, and then we found a heater. But apart from the cold, and it warmed up in the daytimes, it was really nice. You can see Africa, you can see Spain, and it's a really nice event. I'll harp on over the coming months about it, but I strongly suggest that when the applications go live for No Retreat 5, get an application in. It doesn't hurt to apply. You just have to give a bit of background on yourself, sort of what you've been doing with the hobby, what your tournament experience is, and then some photos of your army as well. It needs to obviously be a fully painted army, and you never know, you may be accepted. It's been a different set of people on each one. Yes, there are regular faces in each one, but they only make up about a quarter to a third of the players, and those players from everywhere. There was a guy, Matt Johnson, came all the way over from Australia, and then he won an award. He won an SN award, which means he's invited back. That's going to be an expensive trip, isn't it? All the way back from Australia. We had guys from Poland, the Ukraine, Finland, Germany, Russia. Guy came all the way over from Russia. and obviously loads of guys from the UK, plus some of the local guys from Gibraltar, people from Spain. And it was just really good meeting a load of new people. My purpose of going was 50% pleasure, 50% business. How did I get on? That's the first question people want to know. I won it. I won that. I didn't really. Ace Face won it, which is really good, which means that one of my sponsors, and a very good friend, won No Retreat, which also means Lawrence Baker didn't win it. So here's the thing, Lawrence didn't win, but Ace took a filthy towel list, like an absolutely filthy towel list, and he went there with the intention of winning, and it's exactly what he did. 5 games, all wins, took it down, and he's No Retreat 4 champion, which was brilliant, and it was good to see him win, because Ace goes to an awful lot of tournaments and he's won different ones, but this is the first big tournament he's won. I still remain to say that it's because he didn't go out heavy drinking on the Saturday, so therefore he was slightly more fresh on the Sunday than normal. We were in the casino at 2:30 in the morning, and I encouraged him to come home, which he did. He said he was going to, and listened to the voice of reason. But yeah, his towel list won. We all know my opinions on towel, so that's stuff just rattling around in the back of the car. I'm going to see if I can grab some of that in a minute. But yeah, so it was a good weekend. I won 2 games and I lost 3 games. One of the games I lost, which was the one that was recorded and went up on a live stream, I got absolutely annihilated in. It was a first turn situation. I needed to roll a 4+ to seize the initiative, and I rolled a 1. We both said, whilst going over each other's armies, that whoever gets first turn is going to crucify the other. I didn't seize. I'd scouted aggressively, and then he just ran through me. He took half my army off in turn 1. So it was a foregone conclusion. The dice weren't with me and the dice were with him. Every time I wounded him, he saved. That was if I was lucky enough to wound him. But it was still a good game. He was a good opponent, John. The other 2 games I lost were against Grey Knights. Ian, he had Custodes, and I've never played against Custodes, and bloody hell, those things are resilient. You just can't get through them. But it came down to the final turn, him flipping a Maelstrom card, which gained an extra point. He always had me on kill points. It was paired to the alien that game. He had about 6 or 7 units and I had 16 units, so he was always going to get me on kill points and get primary. But I had both Maelstrom and Tertiary going into the very final turn of the game, and he flipped a card which he couldn't not get, which then gave him a draw for Maelstrom, and it also ensured that he then won Tertiary. But again, really good game, and Ian's a really good guy. And go and check out his channel, which is, I can't remember the name of his channel. Why can't I remember it? Imperium Gaming? No. I'll put a link in. I'm going to remember this time, and I'm going to put a link into his channel. My mind is still fried, which I'll explain why in a minute. The other game that I lost was against Tom. Now, there's a history with me and Tom. First met Tom at the Northwest Open, played against his Raven Wing, and he won, but it was a close game. Then I played him at the Last Chance Open, and we drew each other again, played his Raven Wing again, and it was a standoff game where neither of us could charge, neither of us could make a move to allow the other one to get the charge, and again he beat me there. So we were joking all weekend saying, oh yeah, we're going to draw each other. And final game of the event, it was me against Tom, so there was a big cheer, and then it literally came down to the final roll of the dice. Khosrow Khan to score enough Maelstrom points to take it. I think we were tied for, no, we weren't tied, he ended up getting primary, because with all the will in the world I couldn't move this bloody Corvus Black Star off an objective, just couldn't hit it, or he jinked it and different things. But Maelstrom I could have got, and if I'd have got Maelstrom I'd have also got Tertiary, and I just needed Khosrow Khan to make a charge, 8-inch charge, about average, rolled a 9. I was like, oh, he's in. But in Overwatch I got hit 3 times in Overwatch. I got wounded 3 times. I'm on a bank. I got wounded 3 times, and then let's let that bus in, eh? Let's not fight with a big yellow bus. So I had 3 wounds going in. I had full 3 wounds available on Khosrow Khan. I only needed to pass 1 save. 2. Khosrow Khan died on the charge, which meant I couldn't score the Maelstrom points I needed, and it gave him Slay the Warlord, which then gave him Tertiary. So I would have drawn the game had Khosrow got in, and it wasn't guaranteed that he'd have gone in and won. I still needed Tom to roll a 1, but it was very possible, with the amount of attacks that have been put in. And yeah, it was just nuts. So Tom wins again. That's 3-0, Tom. It's 3-0. Grudge match. You, me, up at War Games. Come and have a battle report. There you go. I've just thrown that gauntlet down. Come up, we'll film it. You'll either go 4-0 up, or we'll write it off. And there's no win anymore. Good banter between Tom and I, though. He's a really nice guy. We've constantly, since meeting each other, been rolling off for doubling up on drinks. He comes up to my events and it's either roll off, and he either buys 2 drinks or I give him 2 drinks for free. And that sort of split about even, unlike the games. But it was a great weekend from a gaming point of view. So I lost 3, but 2 of the losses were literally down to last turn, which is how the game should be. There's nothing worse. I mean, John Corsten, and John, if you're watching, again, I hope the pain's easing down a little bit now. Played up against his absolutely stunning Eldar first game, and I seized the initiative on him. He was castled up in the corner, and I just wrecked him. Literally, both Warp Hunters pop. I didn't even know they were Warp Hunters. I didn't realise that's what they were. I thought the little things in reserve were Warp Hunters. But blew both of them up, tied up his D-sides, took down his Wraith Knight, killed his Farseer, killed his other. My dice were ridiculously hot on that first game, and it was a fun game. We both had fun because John's a great character. He's a Scouser and he knows how to have a laugh. But the close games where it comes down to the wire, they're the games you remember, I think, aren't they? I also played Dave Matthews, who's in the forces, posted out in Gibraltar, so knows the guys out there, but he does a lot of tournament work back here and attends a lot of tournaments when he's back home. Geordie guy, and again, really nice guy. I've got a lot of time for him. Great character. But he brought Tyranids, and he couldn't roll to save his life. Literally, 2 up cover saves, rolls 4 ones. Tyrant's dead, and that's how that game went down basically. But again, lots of fun was had in it. And they were all that sort of game, so it was a really nice and well run event. Hats off to the SN team. It was a really well presented event. There's little that they could do better. It really was put together well, and I'll happily go back again. So I'll be putting my application in to go back later on in the year when the dates are announced. So that was the pleasure side of it. The business side of it is obviously I sponsor the event, so I needed to go out. I needed to face to face meet the guys: Steve, Kevin, Shaggy, Chris, Nick, Ethan, Lawrence. I'm forgetting somebody. I know I am. Sorry, but I met the SN team, which was good. And then guys that I obviously know, I met up with guys that I wanted to meet. So I wanted to do a bit of networking. I hate that word, but it's a thing, isn't it? And I wanted to set up some more sponsorships in stone, which brings us on to the next part of this video. Big news. War Games is branching out with its sponsorship. So we have Ace Face on board, we have Idic Beer on board, which are 2 great channels that I'm very proud to be associated with, both from a business point of view and 2 very good friendships. We've took SN on, which was a big thing for us, and again, proud to have them on board. But we've now picked up more. So we've got Geeks 40k on board. So Rich, Rob, and John from Geeks 40k, we've got them on board. They're coming up shortly, a couple of weeks out. In fact, actually, Rich is coming up for the 40k Addict birthday bash on the 24th or the 25th, whichever it is, of February. And then the day after, filming a battle report for his channel. So watch out for us on Geeks 40k. We also signed up Winters SEO, which was a big deal for me. Winters is a great guy. Spoke to him several times. Never met the guy face to face, and he's just so passionate about the hobby. He's just a nice guy. So we've got Winters on board. I'm going to be going down to his at the beginning of March to go and film a battle report to put out on his channel, and you'll see, as with any of the sponsors, you'll see our logo at the beginning of their channels. Every week or every video I do, all these channels are now going to be registered in the links so that you can go and click through. If for some reason you are not subscribed to their channel, please go and give them a subscription. Even if you don't play 40k, but you're watching me on this, just do me a favour and subscribe. You don't have to watch the videos, but you will enjoy them. If you've got any interest in 40k, you will enjoy the videos. They all bring different dynamics to it and different approaches. And then the other one we've got hold of is VisiCast. Now VisiCast, John, he's only new on the YouTube scene. He's only 12 months in, but he's already rocketed up in subscriptions because the quality of his reports absolutely out of this world. It helps that the guys spent a lot of time behind a TV camera, and it helps that he understands all that. But fair play, and having John on board a big thing to me. Having any of them on board's a big thing. But we've got John on board. There's another couple which hopefully I'll be able to tell you about in the coming weeks. There's one who I'll be speaking to this afternoon. I don't want to mention names on here just in case something doesn't come off. And then there's obviously guys out in Vegas at the moment. Good luck to everyone out in Vegas. Ace, Good luck out there. Lawrence, Tabletop Tactics, Mark Cromwellholm, my flying partner, and font of all knowledge. He's out there as well. So good luck to the guys who are there. Hope one of you brings it back to the UK. And when you're back, obviously, we'll chat about various things. But yeah, so there might be more news in a couple of weeks. We're just waiting for a few external factors to be ironed out as such. But that's the intention anyway. So War Games. Why am I sponsoring all these channels? Because they're big channels and they have a big impact in the. Rounded it off nicely, and they have a big impact in the community. These channels. I know the reason I know about the channels is when I used to sit and paint. Then I'd have a battle report on in the background, and it's these guys who I'd be watching whilst painting, and they put a lot of time and effort in, and there's an awful lot of traffic coming through them, so it makes sense that War Games is at the front of every single one of those. And talking amongst the guys over the weekend, we want sort of a united British front as such, where we can no one's as big as Mini Wargaming, in fact. Mini Wargaming are massive, and like them or loathe them, they are a huge channel. And then you've got other big American channels as well, and we want to sort of bring it back to the UK. And individually no one's as big as Mini Wargaming, but collectively we're much more powerful, strength in numbers and all that jazz. So we're taking it on. We're going to have a collective group of YouTubers who all have their individual channels, but are all under a War Games umbrella, which from a commercial point of view stands War Games very, very strong. But it also means that we're all helping each other out channel-wise, and we're all promoting each other. And we're talking about, probably not till after the summer, because it's surprising how far ahead these guys' diaries work. But probably after the summer, looking at getting all the YouTube channels that we can, not just the ones that are sponsored, but all the ones that we can arrange, getting them up to War Games for a day, bringing them into store, and we'll each film a battle report. So we'll each play 2 games. We'll film one and then just play one, let the opponent film, and that way everybody gets to film a battle report for the channel. Every channel will plug the crap out of it beforehand, saying that it's happening up at War Games, and we're going to invite you. We're going to invite you, the players, the public, to come along. Whether it's just to meet some of your favourite YouTubers, or whether it's to ask us questions. If there's enough interest, we'll do a sit-down Q&A panel session where you can ask questions about how we go about recording, whether it be equipment, lighting, narratives, how we come to the ideas, and taking suggestions and stuff. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. But it'll be good. And then there might be a few little entertaining tricks that I throw into the day or the weekend. I say it's all very much ideas on paper at the moment. We need to get some meat on it as such, but it will happen, and they'll all come up, and it'll be good. What it also means coming back from Gibraltar is there was 36 or 38 players. And chatting with all of them, I did a TV interview while I was out there. We had TV cameras in, so I did an interview on Gibraltar TV. Whilst being out there, obviously chatting with different people, and lots of people are excited about coming over to the Northwest Open. Now, not everybody who was at the Last Chance Open was at No Retreat, that goes without saying, and not everybody that was at last year's Northwest Open was at the Last Chance Open. But just on sheer invitation, or well, not invitation, reminder to purchase ticket alone, I think the Northwest Open, when it goes on sale on the 3rd of April, I think it's going to sell out, like literally on the day, because it's a first come first serve thing, and it's not a put your name down and pay when you're ready. And we're limited. we literally are limited by space. I genuinely believe if it could sit 120, we'd sell 120, because I will be sending reminder emails out to everybody that attended any of the other events, and if all of them just said yes, there isn't enough tickets, and then they say there's all the guys who are at No Retreat who fancy making the trip or coming over or whatever it might be. So don't dawdle with those tickets, I think is what I'm trying to say. And they're not going on sale till 3rd of April, so you've got a couple of months, but definitely get yourself set up for that one, because it's not going to stick around for long ticket wise. And then there might be another event later in the year anyway, might do another big one, maybe a Battle Brothers one. What do you think? Battle Brothers? Let me know, comments. But anyway, so that's enough about 40k, that's enough about No Retreat. Absolutely thrilled to have these new sponsors on board, and I say hopefully there's another 2 to 3 big names to come as well. And it was just great. I'm just really tired, so the flight back, we were meant to fly at 8 o'clock, and then there was a message saying that the plane had to land in Malaga, because anybody that's been to Gibraltar knows how small that runway is. There's a 100-yard margin of error, otherwise you're in the sea. It's quite a scary runway, and something had happened. There was a hydraulic issue and the brakes weren't going to be good enough to stop, so they landed in Malaga, which meant they sent a bus all the way from Malaga to Gibraltar to pick us up. That took an hour and a half to get to us, then an hour and a half back to Malaga, then we had to check back in through customs, blah 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 blah. It meant nearly a 4-hour delay on the flight, so instead of getting in at midnight, got in at about 3 AM, and then by the time I finally got home, I think it was touching the door at 4 o'clock. I was back up at 2 o'clock, and then having to find my way into work, because my daughter's woken me up at 6 o'clock, all excited, daddy's home, so, which is really sweet, but not what I wanted at 6 o'clock when I had 2 hours sleep after a long weekend. And it is an exhausting weekend, playing all those games, and I say chatting to people as and where you can in between. It's exhausting, but I say that's 40k done. I'm going to see if I can reach into the back of the car without crashing. Come on, I've got my hand on it, I just can't. Oh no. There you go, right. There's a game called, what's it called? Gollum Arcana, and it's this. It's a board game with miniatures, or pre-painted plastic miniatures. But there's an interactive side to it where you can play online as well. I don't know how it plays out, but I've just got a demo set, and basically I've just got hold of a load of it really cheap. Which cheap is always good. But yeah, I've just got hold of absolutely loads of this stuff, and it'll go up on the website this weekend. And if it's something that you've got an interest in, have a look at it. Gollum Arcana. There's the base game. Base game's normally £60. I'm going to be doing it for like 25, maybe 30 quid. Because I've literally, I've got it like half price. So 25, 30 quid for the base game, and then the expansions I think are normally a tenner. They're going to be like a fiver. And then there's some extra tile sets, and we'll do a bundle deal for taking everything. So have a look at it. It's good crack. And it'll still apply with the free postage if you spend 40 quid. But we're going to have a set open in store, so come and have a look at it, see how it plays out. It might be dreadful, it might be amazing. I honestly don't know anything about it, but you take a punt on things sometimes, don't you? And that's what I've taken a punt on. So we've got that coming. What else is happening? This weekend, I should have put this at the beginning of the video because I don't know how many people get to the end. But Warlord Games are coming up on Saturday, don't forget, to demonstrate bolt action all day, and they're doing the new Battle of the Bulge. My camera's fallen out of its holster, so come down and have a look. It's free. Just come and play some bolt action. Let's get bolt action moving. I say I should have put that at the beginning. Too late. Another thing, my brain's fried this week. Really, I'm a day out. I'm a day late doing the CarCast. And the reason I'm a day late is because I wasn't in work on Monday, and everything's just sort of cycled out on itself, and I don't know what I'm doing. In all honesty, I'm absolutely, as I said, my head's gone. A couple of people mentioned to me when they came up to the Northwest Open that they watched the CarCasts, and they were sort of like, oh yeah, well, as we were driving up, we were trying to see if we could see any of the things that you can see out of my windows, because obviously you can see where I've been going more or less. Now, today's a different route than normal because I've been to pick stock up and things from Cerberus, from Gamecraft. But do you fancy, and I don't know, motion sickness might not be good for it or not, I'm not too sure, but I can mount my camera higher up and I can have my camera facing out. So rather than looking at me, which you don't want to do, you don't watch these videos to see my face. You listen to what I'm saying. I still don't know why you listen, but you do. But what about if I switch the camera and I showed you the journey I take in? I'm not talking every week, I'm just talking as a one-off. Actually show you the route that I drive. You can see the areas, you can see the countryside that I drive through and everything else. Or do you actually just want it kept facing this way and looking at this? Let me know if you've got to this point in the video. Well done. But let me know with the comments. I'm going to cut it there because we're at like 25 minutes, and that's just stupid long. It's because I got excited about talking about SN and no retreat. So let me know what you think, and I shall see you next week, guys. See you later.